Footwork, timing, anticipation, Mike McDaniel. What are all these things going to do here for Justin Herbert 2026? I'll tell you what, take him
Stock on the ride.
probably outside of the stratosphere, probably at least to the space station, fuel up the rocket, send him to, I don't know, the moon, at least potentially. I don't think that there is a world where a healthy Justin Herbert, if he can stay healthy, if the offensive line can stay healthy, I don't think there's a world where a healthy Justin Herbert doesn't maybe win leagues in 2026. We're going to talk about that and more. And really, the better part about this conversation are all the pieces tied to this man. Hampton, Gadsden, McConkey, all the other wide receivers as well. Some will say QJ, but we've got three monsters potentially tied to this offense, all driven by Miami, Mike McDaniel, now Malibu Mike. And boy, am I excited about what's to come in 2026 for the Chargers and the boys. The Charger boys.
I smell meatloaf. Hey, Ma, the meatloaf.
The Fantasy Football Show begins now.
Live from the TheFantasyFootballShow.com studios.
It's the Fantasy Football Show.
Live! Monday through Friday, 8 p.m. Eastern. Smitty is also live whenever news breaks.
You know, it's so enjoyable when a player that had a bad year, Herbert, well, Gadsden, well, Ladd, okay, Hampton, all of them together go down with the ship and everybody thinks, okay, maybe they're all bad. And you don't understand what time it is or understand the assignment. The assignment is, let's dig around a little bit, use some deductive reasoning, and try and figure out if there's an explanation why every single one of them tanked in 2025. The answer is injury. The answer is bad offensive play calling. The answer is a whole bunch of things that had this entire situation revamped, taken down to the studs, and now they've built it back up under Miami Mike McDaniel, now Malibu Mike McDaniel. Gadsden was on his way. Gadsden was cooking. Gadsden looked like the next top four, not top five, top four dynasty tight end. And then he flatlined. He plateaued. Or no, he didn't plateau. He flatlined, then tanked. Ladd McConkey, coming out of his rookie year, looked like he was going to explode last year. And he completely flatlined and then tanked. Hampton, same thing. This entire offense was running for their life. Herbert was running for his life. And I'm so excited about what's in store for every one of the three, Ladd, Hampton, Gadsden, and then, of course, Herbert, the fourth. I'm more excited about the other three pieces than I am Herbert. And I'm excited about Herbert like crazy. He's one of the most valuable mid to late round quarterbacks you can draft if you're trying to draft at the back end of the 8 to 12. If, let's say, you're walking through your draft, and this is where people don't understand my content. They don't understand me. They don't understand ball sometimes when they come in and say things like, well, wait a minute, I thought you were only drafting early cornerback, Smitty. No, contraire. This is about taking the best player available. I say that every day. Some people hear it, some people don't. I get it. But we're here to show it off. How do we do this, process? How do we play it out? This guy, Josh Allen, third rounder, smash. Now, is there a player that falls? Let's say you've got this 22 overall pick. You take Jeremiah Love here at 22, and then in the third round, you got the option to go Josh Allen. You go Josh Allen pretty much whenever you have all the big dogs off the board. But if Pickens is sitting there, then you go Pickens, or you can. You don't have to go Pickens, but if you go Pickens here, you could go Josh Allen. But this is where you'd say, I'm sorry, Joshy. We're going to send you on down to the next round. I don't think you'll make it, but we'll see you on the other side, pal. And that's how you decide every pick when to go quarterback. Pickens was there. I'm not going to pass on Pickens there. Now, Josh Allen goes off the board late third round. I missed it. Darn it. That's okay. But Lamar Jackson's sitting there, going to have a good year. He's going to have a very good year. He's sitting there in round 4, and you say to yourself, but holy smokes, I can't believe my eyes. what is going on here? Bucky Irving's still there. And you say to yourself, oh, man, I'm going to go Bucky Irving. What am I doing? Lamar, I'm sorry. I wanted to go early quarterback, but, Bucky fell. I didn't know. So now you let Lamar fall. He gets taken at the bottom of 4, and in 5, you go, darn it. What in the hell is going on here? Then all of a sudden in 5, you're sitting here, you're looking at JD 5 and 5, JD 5 and 5. Maybe Joe Burrow in 5, 5-6. It depends on, what you're looking at, what kind of league you're in. All these guys deserve to be grabbed here, but it depends on who's sitting there in 5. You're like, oh my God, Smitty, Jadarian Price is there. You told me about this guy. You said draft him if I want to win. I think I better take Jadarian Price. Let me call Smitty real quick and see if Smitty approves this move. Hold on a second. Smitty, I'm looking at Jadarian Price sitting here, in round number, end of 5. End of 5. Take him? Okay, or anywhere in 5? Okay, you're good anywhere. 6 if possible, but in 5 you're good? Okay, I'll tell Joe Burrow and JD5. They won't be happy. Then you go over and you say, JD5 and Burrow, I'm so sorry, pals, broskies. We're going to go ahead and see if one of you linger on down to the next round. No hard feelings. Jadarian Price is my guy. And then all of a sudden you get down here and those guys are gone. Hurts is gone somehow, but guess who's there to save the day? Justin Herbert is sitting there. Herbert there to save the day. You can take Herbie all you want there. That is almost going early quarterback. That's the beautiful part about this thing we call fantasy football. There are 1,000 ways to win. I just walked you how to draft quarterback. I just walked you through how this is a Mahomes and Herbert territory. You can get Mahomes in 7. You can get Herbert in 7 sometimes. You can get both of them in 6. Sometimes you have to take them in 6. But these are probably the 2 best quarterbacks to take once you've got Hurts and JD5 and Burrow and Lamar and the boys all gone. No one's saying that this isn't a great approach. But when someone says something like this is the only approach, wait for Herbert, you got to just see what's going on here. Because if you're sitting here debating, and no offense to anybody that thinks Ted McMillan's worth a 3rd-round pick, I think he's good. I don't think he's worth a top of 3 or even top to mid 3 pick. But if you're sitting here, Pickens is gone. You're looking at, and as we talked about, this is where Breece Hall goes. So you got McMillan here. You got Breece Hall here. This is when I say no brainer. I'm going Josh Allen. It's not even close whatsoever. That's when I decide I am going to circumvent the other positions and say, this is where you smash the Josh Allen early. It's all about who's available at every pick that you're on the clock for. So that is, in a nutshell, how you smash the hell out of your draft. Again, Pickens would be the ideal candidate in this particular situation. Love, and then at the top of this draft, we're going. Let's just say we already have 1, 2. We already that many running backs. Let's say it was Jamar Chase that you took with this selection here. This ended up being your draft: Jamar Chase, Jeremiah Love, George Pickens, Bucky Irving, Jadarian Price, Mahomes, and Herbert as a bully QB stack and best ball. That's how you smash quarterback. That's how you draft Justin Herbert. That's when you draft Justin Herbert. That's when you draft Josh Allen. That's when you draft Patrick Mahomes. That's when you draft Herbert and Mahomes. You just got a whole lesson in quarterback drafting, baby, and we're doing it live. Now I want to hear from you. Phone lines are open. We're opening the phone lines quick. Super chats will be had and answered. I got everybody over on the Rumble. Vader, Simi Valley, Aldi, appreciate you guys. Super chat here from Mile High. Mile High, appreciate you. See you in July. I'm drafting in your division. Thank you, Mile High. Appreciate you, my boy. Mile High is going to be there. Simi Valley is going to be there. I believe, right? You're still going Simi. Husseini. We've got Landman. We've got, I don't know if Denny's going to actually show. He said he was going to. I'm not 100% certain. We've got BBQ. The list goes on and on. Who am I forgetting? Everybody that's coming out to Arizona July 18. I think it's July 18. July 18, July 17. Gabe, you're live, young man. How can I assist you?
Man, I got a question for you, Smitty. Round 1, you're sitting there. JT or Jefferson? You have to choose between one of them. Who do you like better this season?
I don't mean to say this like as if it's an easy answer, because JT was literally like, if Danny Dimes didn't go down, who knows what kind of season he would have ended up with. But Dimes is coming back from the injury. JT fell, I don't want to say fell off the face of the earth, but this is what you're afraid of when you draft Jonathan Taylor is that if the quarterback play isn't up to par, he can't produce the same number. So you're going to have to ask yourself and dig down deep and say, am I going to get what I got last year out of Dimes the whole year? Is he going to struggle his first, week back? How much are they rushing him? Is there a chance for recidivism or re-injury or something? Here's what JT dropped. Let me put this over here and just get JT on screen. Hold on a second. I like to have the player faces here so that when you're skipping through a video or whatever, you know what to do, where to look, when to stop. JT, 1,500 yards, 18 touchdowns. What a year, bro. That's fallen off the face of the earth. Like, what week was it? Here, let me put up his game log. His game log is crazy. He still, trickled out the production, but it was definitely a massive drop off. And he still finished that high. Like, if you traded him in week 10 and got somebody that just started going, like, you probably scored like 700 points from the one spot. I'm just kidding, but it would have been the best trade of fantasy football history to trade JT right away at week 10, 11, whatever, and then got a player that just started kicking into gear. So here's his production, man. It was insane. 71 yards. 27 receiving. Week 1 was like, okay, that's kind of what you get out of JT when Dimes isn't there, though. It's like it's pedestrian sometimes. 165, 0 TDs, 1 receiving TD, 50 yards receiving. That was quite a day. That was a 200-yard total game and a receiving touchdown, like week 2. That's just a crazy performance. The next week, 102, 3 touchdowns. The next game, 76, 0, but then he had 20 receiving. Next game, he had 3 scores, 66 yards, 123, 1. The next game, 94 and 3. He had 3 touchdowns, 1, 2, 3, 4 times in 10 weeks. He had 4 3-touchdown games. Like, this is no shrug it off. Like, you can't take him over JJ. Like, of course you can. But here's the problem. Look at this finish. I mean, he did have 3 touchdowns, but there's no 100-yard games. He had an 87-yard game, an 85-yard game, and then nothing over 74 yards the entire rest of the way. This is Danny Dimes list football. Look at the L's. L, 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 L. Just gets kicked in the sack in terms of the game script and being able to get into even getting the carries with some of these games. 21, 25, 21, 21. You can't even say that he got game scripted out entirely. That the game script shifted in the production and the execution. 3.6, 4.0, 3.5, 3.5, 2.9, 3.3, 1.9. He fell off the face of the earth in terms of the yards per carry, whereas he's getting 12 here, he's getting 7, he's getting 5. So the truth is there's no answer here other than, do you believe Dimes will be healthy? He's coming back from an Achilles injury. Those are brutal injuries. We've seen Aaron Rodgers and Kirk Cousins come back and actually not get hurt that year. But they weren't mobile quarterbacks. The question and concern for me for Dimes would be, since he's so mobile, is he going to re-injure himself or tear the other Achilles because he's trying to do too much? Is he going to be in his natural form if he can't move around? Because part of why Dimes could play well is he was kind of dangerous on the ground. He was kind of elusive. If you take that part away and you know what's coming, can the defense scheme against him? And might the Colts have a real rough first month of football? Those are all tough questions, man. I think at the end of the day, I lean toward JJ and PPR. I slightly lean toward JJ in 0.5. And if it's non-PPR, I would probably lean JT. That's how close it is for me. I also ask myself, what's the likelihood I get a running back or wide receiver in the second round to kind of have a shot at balance. I love Jeremiah, I love JJ, probably a little more than I like JT and maybe the receiver that falls in that territory there. That's kind of the way I look at it, because I think Love could be a top 5 or 6 running back. I think JJ can be a top 1 to 5 wide receiver. I really do. And JT 1 or 10. And then what are you getting at wide receiver? That's my long-winded answer. The truth is, would I divide it up if I had 2 leagues side by side starting right now at the same pick with the same scenario? Would I take JT in one and JJ in another? Maybe. I also think is JT's ADP. Let me look at Underdog right now. I know Underdog could be a little different than ESPN or Yahoo, but if we look at the ADP right now, just to make sure that we're talking about the same territory, because JT's floated into the second round at times, which is a very, very good steal it can package in more of the risk. But right now, it looks like JT's going at number 6.8. So he's climbed. Jeez, he's climbed. 6.8. Man, he climbed even I think 2 spots. Yeah, there was a time where he was at the 12-13 turn at one point, and now he's at 6.8. I don't know. You know what I'd also say you could do? Do you play basketball on Underdog promo code Smitty, which we're going to draft here in a minute?
Yeah,
you play?
I do.
Okay. So my advice would be get your JT fix a little bit more in best ball, because if he does miss time, you have things, or if there's a month of football that they struggle, the Colts, you're going to be able to have supplemental replacements at optimal scoring where you don't have to decide when or what or how. And you're also being able to take tons of stabs at this without affecting that one league. One person could say, though, that, sorry to keep talking and not let you even say anything. The other thing I would say is that, someone might say JJ's just as risky, Smitty. What if Kyler doesn't do well? So that's why I say split it. I'd split it. I lean JJ slightly if you had one league, but if you have 2 leagues, 100% take one and one the other. Okay, go ahead. What do you think about all that?
No, I agree. This is the reason why I asked this question is because I have it's a limited keeper league, and I have JT, and he'd be my first round pick. Somebody offered me JJ for JT, 1 for 1. So I'm like, what would you do? It's full PPR.
What about the keeper value?
It'd be a first round pick. So either one of them, it'd be a first round pick.
And how many?
That would be our first pick.
How many years can you keep them?
2 years.
Yeah, so it doesn't really matter there, because if let's say you could keep forever, I'd rather have JJ because he's a receiver, and I think JT could have a year and then boom, he could be gone. The way that these running backs are used. I'm gonna go JJ. Final answer, but that's me. Travis is on the line. Travis, you're live. Do you go JJ or JT, Travis? Full PPR.
I lean JJ. Yeah, JJ.
It's kind of hard to, you say it, and then let me merge this call. Hold on one second, pal. Mute yourself. I'll be right with you. You say JJ. I say JJ. Anybody that does say JJ, you think about after you say it, you're like, but JT literally had 18 touchdowns. The thing that concerns me, though, is 323 carries is a boatload. And, I just, I don't know, man. I feel like whenever we see that kind of, whenever we see that kind of workload, it's just a very big concern for running backs. But I don't know, bro. Chat, vote on it. What is you could ask the question. You could pose the question, what confidence do you have that JJ is going to turn it around and that Kyler can feed him? What if Kyler pulls a whole, I'm not going to throw to my receiver? I think that Kyler will treat JJ like he's been treating McBride, though. So that's the way I look at it. I don't think Kyler's just, relying upon the tight end position as much as the routes that are being run. The one concern I would have with JJ is that when things were really bad for McCarthy last year, they didn't reroute JJ's game and say, let's get JJ the ball at the line of scrimmage. They didn't do any of that. They just continued to not throw JJ the ball. So part of me has a little bit of concern that maybe if Kyler does need certain routes, the dig routes, the drag routes, the routes that can essentially, Kyler's too short to see over the offensive line. So if Kyler is running like this, he takes a snap and he scrambles outside the pocket, and here's the offensive line. Kyler has to get outside of that offensive line so that he can see the field, right? And he can only see this territory. He can't see where MHJ is running a go route downfield, which is why MHJ never got the ball. It was like a wall of oleanders just sitting in front of Kyler, so Kyler would scramble this way. He didn't know where JJ was at all. He didn't know if JJ was on the sideline getting Gatorade. And so he'd run this way, and McBride would constantly be running these routes where Kyler could just run with them, throw it to him, dig, drag routes, all kinds of stuff. So you got to ask yourself the question is, given that we didn't see the Vikings do that with JJ last year when McCarthy was struggling, hey, let's have him play wide back. Let's have JJ turn around, throw some screens to him, throw some quick slants. It was almost as if they had no clue. But it didn't feel like It didn't feel representative of the way the Vikings have coached or their scheme, so it was confusing. But part of me is what I'm trying to say is I believe in my gut that Kyler will have JJ in a position that felt a lot like the way McBride was there as a safety net. I don't think it's I only throw to a player that has the positional identifier as tight end. Like I don't think that's why I also feel like when we see Fannin explode under that offense in Cleveland under Tommy Rees, that Tommy Rees going over to Atlanta isn't just going to mean that because Fannin blew up that Kyle Pitts is the only one that can blow up, that it can't be London, because Tommy Rees was targeting, and as was Shador, targeting the wide receiver, targeting the routes that were being run. It's not just the position. So I believe that Tommy Rees will use London in a very similar fashion as he used Fannin. And so that's why I want people to understand that it doesn't just translate from position to position from each team when these guys end up doing what they're doing.
It was a long time ago, but he did it with DeAndre Hopkins too. It was 5 years ago, but DeAndre Hopkins was successful with Kyler.
And that's because Hopkins would not, just run go routes like MHJ. MHJ, it was so depressing to watch MHJ run, and we're like, MHJ, like, come on, do something, bro. And MHJ would, like, all of a sudden pull off this amazing, head fake, and he'd be running downfield by himself, and he'd be looking, and Kyler, Kyler has no idea. The offense, he can't even see, he can barely see the stars. He can't. Yeah. We're like, MHJ's wide open. If you remember his rookie year, what did we say, Travis? It was something like, what was his rookie year? It was like 905 or something. I think
he was.
It was 905 or something. Let me see what Travis.
Right here. It was
rookie season.
885 and 8.
Oh yeah, sorry. 885 and 8. That's even better than I thought. So MHJ, there were 2 or 3 routes where MHJ was wide open running downfield. Kyler couldn't see him. And so we said that if you gave MHJ, because everyone was hating on MHJ, if you gave him 2 of those 3 wide open touchdowns, which would have added up to roughly 1,000 yards, that if MHJ exited his rookie year with 1,010, people would be like, oh my God, this is the best wide receiver. Like it was literally like 2 or 3 plays that determined his fate. Now, granted, he ended up very badly busting this year, or this past year. But point is, sometimes it's just like 1 or 2 plays like that. But anyway, all right. Anything else, bro?
I'm good, brother. I appreciate it. Yeah, I'm thinking about JJ. That's where I've been leaning. I kind of feel the comeback for Kyler and Kevin O'Connell.
Let's get the chat. Let's get the chat to vote one more time. JJ or JT? Please, everybody, just spam the chat with JJ or JT, and let's help them out. All right, later, bro.
Later, man.
All right, caller 937. You're live. Who's this and where are you calling from?
Backwards Matt, Ohio.
Backwards Matt. What's up, Backwards Matt? We haven't heard from you in a long time.
What's up, Smitty?
We haven't heard from you.
I mean, I've just been in the chat, brother. I have 2 things I want to ask you. When Kyler Murray went to Minnesota, the first thing that came to my mind, now granted, I'm not comparing him at all to McBride, but I think that T.J. Hawkinson is going to see a spike in points this year because obviously Murray loves to throw to his tight ends, and J.J.'s constantly getting double teamed, and then you got Addison on the other side, and Hawkinson, he plays in that middle. That's exactly what Kyler Murray likes. So
did you hear a word I just said? Did you hear a word I just said the entire time though? Because I just explained that though. Backwards, Matt. That's why I think you're backwards on this one again.
But my other one, I just want your opinion. The more tape I watch of this guy, the more I fall in love with him.
Hold on real quickly. Everybody jump on a puppy. Jump on a puppy. I'm going to hit it right now. Hitting the green button. Puppy, $5 on Underdog. Promo code Smitty. Do it live. Underdog will match your first deposit 50% all the way up to $1,000. This will fill really quickly, so please try and jump in right now and sign up using the link that's in the chat, the description. I'm going to drop it in the chat. Go ahead, backwards, Matt. What were you saying?
I I'm high on a rookie Antonio Williams for Washington.
Yeah, I like him.
I think him and JD5 is going to be pretty good together. What do you think about that?
I think that could be definitely a possibility. I think we got to make sure we're not like over drafting him or over expecting, because we've seen, so many wide receivers in these situations before, especially in Washington, where we've seen Ja'Cory Cross-Merritt get misused. We've seen, what's the tight end? What's that guy's name again? Damn it. The tight end we've loved for a while. They just haven't used him at all.
Ben Sinnott.
Ben Sinnott. Like, Ben Sinnott was supposed to be the next George Kittle. And you know who identified George Kittle? The GM for the Washington Commanders, Adam Peters. He identified and found George Kittle. So when he wanted Ben Sinnott, we're like, oh my God, this guy knows what he's doing. And Ben Sinnott's a beast, bro. And they just haven't used him. So, like, that's the only thing I'd say be a little cautious of. But yeah, I like Williams a lot. We liked him a little bit walking into the draft. So it isn't like a player we like just because he landed in Washington. He's got a lot of upside. Just like we like Branch, just like we like every single rookie receiver really is such a good class. All like of the top 10 down to even Denzel Boston and Omari Cooper Jr. Omar Cooper Jr. and Chris Bell. Like, they're all really good, bro. It's like we could say, "Kid, what do you think about him?" Yeah, I like him. Like, there's so many of them, man, but it's hard to know until we see them playing. So, if JD5 and him start connecting, if we get any signs of it, yeah, midseason monster for sure, guys. But that could also be Chris Bell. That could also be, a bunch of different players.
Right. Okay, that's all I want to be. I appreciate you, man.
All right, later, bro. Appreciate you. Later.
See you.
Okay, backwards, Matt. It's funny he didn't it's almost like he didn't listen to anything I said while he was on hold that whole time listening to me. He's like, I think Hawkinson's gonna. I think look, Kyler looks to his tight end. We know that, but I just explained it. I don't think it's the routes that he's throwing to. It's not the player. And JJ is going to be a lot easier to throw to than anybody else, other than McBride to him. Okay, I could take JJ here. I could also take lamb chops. I'll take CD. I love JJ. I love Genty. I love CD. I like mixing it all up. But this right here, I believe, is good for me because I think I'm going to get one of these RBs like A-Chan or at least Kenneth Walker. And I know I'll get Hampton if I want. And, I could draft Hampton and then draft Herbert and try and go this route in this particular draft because it is a potential Herbert and Charger night that we're kind of celebrating here. And Husseini, did I read Husseini? Husseini, you still here? Did not read this yet? McConkey, Ladarius, McConkey, top 10 ceiling this year with Malibu Mike in your eyes. Absolutely potential. I'd say top 12 to be careful. Being Malibu Mike's number one wide receiver is the best spot you can be in as a fantasy football player. 83 receptions, 1,100 yards, and 10 TDs. I could totally get behind that. I think I could get behind more receptions than that. I mean, he could get 90, 100, and then maybe it's 9 touchdowns or something like that. It could be any combination of different things. So we got A-Chan still available and Walker, so I'll get either one. A-Chan, man, I like going Walker, but A-Chan and Lamb is pretty hard to get.
That's kind of unique.
I think I'll go A-Chan and Lamb. Damn, man, that feels pretty good. Luis dropping a $20 super chat from Luis from the Rumble chat. Luis says, Smitty. Let's see here. Let's grab Luis's comment and throw it on screen. Appreciate everybody being here. If anybody wants to draft like this, code Smitty, as you can see at the top and bottom of the screen, and then also the link is in the description. Luis. Let me see if I can hit this button for Luis. Okay. Thank you, Luis. Appreciate you. Got his own little unique animation that no one has. Give me JJ every single day, especially on Sundays. JT's workload plus Daniel Jones' recovery will work against him. Also, Herbert is not the truth. He's got the talent, but not the dog in him, in my opinion. I think I want to disagree with you and say that I do think he has the dog. I think what it is, we got to have a dog button, by the way. Like, you know.
I think the dog thing is overrated. Like, people judge guys too harshly.
Well,
because of that. Like,
I think what it is, though, it's not that he doesn't have the dog in him. It's that, like, he's had bad situations and bad luck and so it's like, how can he prove he's got the dog in him when they're losing or it's not, you know what I mean? Like, I think judging him because he hasn't been like, if he was winning, I love Nico Robinson like that. Gibbs going in the 3rd draft slot. I haven't seen that yet. That's crazy. But I think it's because, like, if like, it's hard to say Joe Burrow has had the dog in him the last couple of years, right? Because things haven't gone wrong. If you think of Joe Burrow having that dog in him, you're thinking back to when he, marched into the Super Bowl. But it's hard to say that when someone's got bad luck just unfolding over and over. Like, Trevor Lawrence has got the dog in him, but did he have the dog in him before this year? No. So I think it coincides with winning, number one, and then you can judge Pickens going this late. Jeez. That's fantastic. Devontae Smith, what are we doing? Why is everybody taking him so high? It's ridiculous. Walker, love this. I don't know that man, that would have been okay, Breece Hall's here. Oh, this kind of sucks, man. Got sniped. Hall, Kyron, Javonte. Buka's a little early here. Let's try Hall because we talked about him today, and let's just see how this feels. Because we did a lot of Breece Hall discussion. I haven't drafted a lot of Breece Hall at all. Josh Allen went. All the players that I suggest I would take over Breece Hall are gone. So this is a good example of when to pull the trigger on Breece Hall. I could have taken Kyron. I could have taken Buka really early. Could have taken Buka, then Bucky, which I do like. But let's see how this plays out by just playing it cool. I also could take, if Buka goes and I don't get Buka, which I think I will, unless the person here is one of our people and they're going to snipe me, which they could. I'm not looking at who's in what slot, but then I could go Mike Evans a little bit. Reach on Mike Evans, having Lamb, Mike Evans, Achane, and Hall is pretty good. I got to say, I don't mind. I don't mind Hall at this value. Like, it takes drafting him to really feel if the value is right. And I got to say, I don't mind that. That doesn't feel horrible. Buka, Lamb, Adams, Hall. Doesn't feel bad. It's not my favorite, but it definitely doesn't feel bad. Husseini says, Luis, Herbert has more dog than May. Herbert is tough like Stafford. Played through broken hand, injured. Yeah, I mean, like, it also depends how you're defining dog. Like, the way he plays injured, that's a lot of dog. Like, not winning and carrying the team on his back, like, he can't when the whole offensive line is injured. And I would say, I would say it depends on how you're defining dog. By the way, Husseini with a $20 super chat. Appreciate that as well.
Alert. Super chat alert.
Husseini, what is your, do we have a button for Husseini when Husseini drops 20 or higher? I don't think we do, and he definitely deserves it. Husseini, is there a...
Make it him kicking Drake May in the balls.
That could be at Husseini's button.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Always find a way to take a shot at May.
Yeah.
I respect it.
He does. He's consistent. Husseini's consistent as can be about it. He'll be like, hey, Husseini, what's the weather? Well, Drake May wouldn't be able to survive this weather, but it's 94. He's been dealt with bad cards like T-Law this year. AFC West standings: KC, LAC, LV, Denver. Denver 4 is bold. I think Denver is going to have some problems. So I'm not like opposed to a bold stance on that, but I mean, it depends on Nick's, man. But Nick's ankles, that's kind of worrisome. I always tell you guys you can't mess up the one pick. I'm sorry if whoever's in the one pick is in this draft right now, but that, I don't know, man. I don't mind Bijan, Nico, Love, but Waddle and Jamo Williams, I feel like you really missed the bar there. Like, those are okay picks for sure. I love Jamo. I love trading for Jamo, but I feel like you should have a much more stacked team from that draft slot. Damn. The 2 pick, Rice, Jamar Chase, Jacobs. No, thank you. Gibbs, Henry, A.J. Brown, Evans, McLaurin. I kind of like that team, assuming Henry stays healthy. That's a good team. This team right here, you're not winning with this team, bro. All 4 wide receivers, and then you take Judkins as your running back 1. It's not gonna fly. Do we go? Jeez, man. Lamb, H. Hall. I'm gonna go Jadarian Price here. And then I have a player I hope falls to me. There's a couple I'm fine with getting as a wide receiver 3 or going quarterback. JMO 100. Yeah, JMO 100. Saying JMO's awesome. That's totally different than when you look at a team and you say, okay, Waddle, JMO, like you could do a little bit better from that draft slot. JMO's a fantastic player, but he lives in an inconsistent world, so you have to make sure you're getting him at value. And if you get him at value, you can win you a league. We're the biggest trade for JMO people you can find. And the funny part is people go, hey, you didn't even like JMO. What are you talking about? Listen to what I'm saying. We love JMO. We just love to trade for him because in week 1 or 2, when he gets less targets than you expect and you're going to sell him dirt cheap, we'll be there to take him, and then he takes us to the promised land. But that's the rinse and repeat strategy for JMO. People drafting JMO in the 4th round, they're taking him too high. Bashal Tootin. I can't take another running back, but boy, do I want to. Jordan Tyson or BTJ, Travis?
Tyson.
Let's do it. Lamb, Egbuka.
I was wondering if he'd fall to you.
Tyson. H.N. Hall, Price. Very good team. I like this team. It's not bad at all. Husseini says, I'm cool with that video. I meant Denver 3 and LV 4. Okay, Denver, Green Bay, New England, and Seattle, all 4 regress this year, says Husseini. Husseini, is there a particular video? Because I don't know when I'm going to make a Drake May getting kicked in the NAD video. Is there a video you particularly like that maybe I could throw you on that we play whenever you drop a, like, example would be, well, let me think of one. Let me make one unique to you. I'll make one unique to you. Tyson over BTJ, in my opinion, says RCT. Either way, bro, they're both fantastic picks. If anything, I've got so much BTJ. Don't like the Jadarian Price pick. Well, no offense, RCT, but that does not hurt my feelings. It's not my fault you don't like it. What am I going to do about that? That's your fault, not my fault. Phone lines are open. Dial in. Thank you, Luis, for the $20 super chat. Thank you, Husseini, for dropping the super chat. And then E-Rock dropping one here. Yo, brother, thoughts on Ferguson's situation, Claire Ferguson's situation in LA? Pick 2 rookie tight ends. Claire, I don't know, man. I'd say like Delp. I'd say Delp is my favorite here, and then Reardon's not bad. Jolie, I like, but
I think Reardon, if you take Reardon, you take him knowing he's either like going to be a top 10 tight end or he's going to be nothing. Mm-hmm. I think it's kind of a boom or bust, but I think there's high upside. The Claire and Ferguson thing is interesting because Ferguson, they're both second round picks. Ferguson was 46 overall. Claire was 61 overall. Claire was like a comp pick, I think, but so they both have the same draft capital.
Yeah, I probably lean toward Delp, and then I guess I would say Reardon, I guess, but it's really close, bro.
I think, yeah, it's a toss-up.
Well,
you had a membership chat too after you make your next pick.
I'm going to go Mount Manungai here and then go QB after that, I think. Membership question from B-Dub says, 21 months. Thank you, pal. Is Pickens worth 2 first-round picks in Dynasty? Depends on where the picks are. If they're both late, then sure. If the one could be like really early, then I don't know. I guess if it's not 1 or 2 overall, and the reason I say that is because there's going to be a running back we love. Every year, there's a running, doesn't matter if it worked out or not, from a prospect level, there's going to be a running back we absolutely love. And then there's going to be Jeremiah Smith. So if it was, would I rather have that pick alone over Pickens? Maybe. So if you're throwing that away, you're going to be pissed at yourself if you have another mid or early pick. But if they're both like past round 5 or past 5 or 6 overall, then I probably would say I'm going to go Herbert here. Herbert, man of the hour.
Nice.
I'd probably.
I was hoping he
Yeah.
could say.
I'd probably say give me.
What
give me.
about
In
if it
general.
was like the 1.02 this year and then a late 27 first? Like, are you taking Tyson or Pickens?
Probably Pickens, but yeah. So if you said it's basically the pick is the other pick is not mid to early, it's late. Then I guess I could say Pickens would be safer. But I do think that Tyson could be better than Pickens. Pickens could be better than Tyson.
I do too.
Anybody doesn't think that Pickens can be that, or that Tyson can be as good, they just don't like Tyson. That's fine. But Herbert is the most talented QB in history without anything to show for. Husseini, if you put May on the Chargers, they're the AFC West favorites, no doubt in my mind. But Luis, you got to understand that they nobody was doing anything last year for the Chargers. May would have gotten injured, or he was running for his life. Herbert staying relatively healthy was a marvel. So I think that you put May on the Patriots, or put Herbert on the or you put May or Herbert on the Chargers with Miami Mike McDaniel healthy. Both of them, either one of them, are taking them really, really far, bro. I don't think that it's hard to say that now because Herbert's going to explode with Miami Mike McDaniel. If you put May on the Chargers last year, he would have failed because everyone would have failed. So I don't know. I understand. We are becoming Herbert apologists for sure. Every year it's like, well, I'm sorry for this, or I'm sorry for that, or this happened, but they're all explainable. If he doesn't do it this year, and even if he gets hurt, like, it's just gonna be one of those players where you're like, I just can't trust him. Like, I get it. Like, you're not wrong in being like, prove it to me. But I think a lot of us are willing to risk the biscuit at freaking 8th round. Like, that's what I'm doing. I'm fine with it. But it's understandable, Luis, why you'd be skeptical. But I just think we're all optimistically skeptical because we know how talented his arm is. We know he's a smart kid. We'll see what happens, man. Herbert was on a tear at one point. Like, he started off the season hot. What, Travis?
No, I was just gonna say I think they're like kind of similar talent wise. Like, I'd say Herbert's probably a little bit better of a natural thrower. May is probably a little bit better of a scrambler, but they're close. They're similar in a lot of ways.
Yeah. Kyle Pitts. I took Kyle Pitts. So my team is Lamb, Achane, Breece Hall, who I don't normally draft, but because of all the Breece Hall talk today, I wanted to see how it felt. And it didn't feel bad given all the players. Like, look at the players that were there. I could have taken Javonte if I wanted, but I could have taken Buka early, but I thought, you know what, let's just see. I'll get Buka anyway. I could have got Bucky and Buka instead of Hall and Buka, which honestly I could have been fine with that too, but I've done a lot of that already, so this is a nice little mix of something different for me. And I don't mind it. I mean, Achane, Hall, Jadarian Price, Monangai, I think my running back room is going to be fine. This is the kind of running back room you want to surround, not including Achane, he's in his own spot. But surround Hall with Price and Monangai. That way when Hall does pop off, he'll score for me. When he doesn't, I got Price and Monangai to rotate, and that makes Hall kind of a safer play as my running back 2 in a way. Lamb, Egbuka, Tyson, very, very good. crew there. I got a sniper there. Took Casey Concepcion. Damn it, love Casey Concepcion. And normally he falls, but not in Snipe City. Damn it. That was going to be my secret weapon, fourth wide receiver here that would put me over the top. But that's all right. Love Worthy. Worthy's fantastic, as well as a fifth wide receiver in this case. He's my fourth, but I still like him a lot. He's got a nice little bounce back year, I think, coming, because they, as Reed said yesterday in a quote, that he was afraid to use him, with the shoulder, so they just didn't use him in ways they normally will and would have. Herbert is better than Love. Of course he is, bro. Like Herbert's a top 5 quarterback. Jeremiah Love is not even, like, that's not even in the same conversation. Love and Herbert, that's not even close. That's not. You want to talk about May being better than Herbert? Sure, okay, I'm fine with that. You want to talk about Herbert being better than May? I think that I wouldn't say that myself, but I could understand that. You want to talk about Jordan Love? What are we doing? That's like Puma Jam versus Nike, my boy. Overcome Keaton Mitchell Vulture fear. No, cuff, must cuff. Yes. And in standalone grab, not because you're thinking he'll just steal away from Hampton, but if Hampton gets hurt, it's more about cuffing and then Hampton's ankles. Like, Hampton's a little bit of a concern. Like, I'm admit, we keep saying, what players can you inward look and be honest with yourself about having some risk that you might take on, and you're admitting that you're going to take it on. But you're saying to yourself, is this BTJ? Is this Genty's offensive line that you're not willing to admit is the case? That, like, everybody makes mistakes. Every year, there's things that you call wrong. There's things I call wrong. Everyone calls wrong. And if you can learn from them and say, I have to start looking into this situation when it's like this, I learned something. Pete Carroll and his son as offensive line coach, never again. Never again. Doesn't matter how much I love the player, never again. And are we thinking, and I'm not saying this is the case with Hampton, I love Hampton, but are we worried about his ankles? Are we worried about him staying healthy? And are we just willing it? You have to ask yourself the question. It's okay to ask it and say, no, I'm good. Because we said that about Achane. Is Achane, everybody keeps saying Achane's going to bust. Is he too small? And the answer to us was no. Everyone's going to be wrong. It's okay to ask the question, but everyone is going to be wrong on this. I'm telling you. And then, boy, were we correct. I'm going to go a little early on Jonah Coleman because this guy at the end sniping everything I do. So I have to take him. I needed the other running back because or he's not sniping everything. I don't actually. It was just Burrow and Concepcion. Maybe he's not even a sniper because that's only 2 players I like. Yeah, he's not sniping me. Fannin Hurts. Yeah, I don't think that was just ironic that he took Concepcion so early. Maybe he watches the show. If you watch the show, don't take Shaheed. Don't do it right here, pal. Don't take Shaheed from me right here. Don't do it. I do like Coker though, so we're not sure yet. We're still confused. Let's see. Don't do Shaheed. Don't do it, bro. Or Cooper Jr. Don't do it. Sam Darnold, Goddard. I only have one tight end. Kyle Pitts. Do you like Goddard here? Kelsey? How many quarterbacks do I have? Herbert only. Willis, Cam Ward.
Ooh. I like Willis or Ward. Willis with Achane, maybe.
Who's on the phone? Did I forget that I added somebody? Oh, Husseini.
Yeah, it's me. What's up,
Sorry, bro. Interrupt anytime. I forget.
Speak up, son.
Yes.
Oh, yeah, I know. You're good. I'm drafting too, so.
Drake May. Drake May, kicker. Drake May, not kicker. He loves kicking Drake May right in the nuts constantly.
Yeah. Look at that. Kelsey and Goddard went right after you said their names.
Yeah, maybe. Hey, Husseini. What are your thoughts about Jordan Love versus Herbert?
That's not even a conversation.
Yeah.
That's a silly conversation to me.
Figured. It's like asking, what's better? A snow cone or a steak dinner?
I'm personally not.
I'm not a snow cone guy.
Like, I don't like Jordan Love at all. I'm not like, I don't hate him, like, obviously, but like, I just don't. He's not someone that I even care to draft. Like, if he's on the waivers, maybe if I need like a last minute quarterback. But to me, he's like slightly better than Geno. Like, that's where I put him.
Yeah, Jordan Love. I think Jordan Love's better than Geno, but I think Jordan Love is somebody that.
Yeah, he is. But
we're talking. Let's put it this way: we're talking about Jared Goff without Ben Johnson. Like, what's gonna happen?
Yeah, victim of the system a little bit.
Yeah.
Too.
Stroud and Jordan Love is a real debate. I'd rather have Love.
I'd rather have Stroud with an offensive line.
Maybe.
But when he doesn't have an offensive line, he's just Geno Smith 2.0 with a bad offensive line.
Well,
but with a good offensive line, because the Texans have 3 new linemen, so hopefully they last.
Hopefully they're able to fix that situation, because I'll tell you what.
But I will say, there's recent I've seen recent videos and stuff. I don't know if I'm sure you've seen it. But CJ Stroud's actually lost a lot of weight, and he looks a lot skinnier and like more mobile. So hopefully, he's in the right mindset now. I don't know.
Hopefully he's not in a frame there. He's gonna get hurt though. Because sometimes when you shed all that weight,
that's true. But,
it worked for Lamar.
I mean,
but it doesn't work for everybody, just because your body's used to holding that extra weight in case you're getting hit, and it's not always a good look to be dropping LBs.
I never thought he had to be mobile either. Like, you can move in the pocket, but I don't know if I want him dropping a bunch of weight.
Yeah.
I think it's good for like his longevity in terms of like just like being fit. But I do understand the thing about like quarterbacks always good to have a little cushion on them. Like Mahomes is Mahomes, Big Ben, Aaron Rodgers, like all these guys kind of have cushion to them because they know they're generally more pocket pass
right
compared to like and so they need that extra cushion or whatever.
Yeah, but you put on weight.
218.
You put on weight that you're not used to having. Like if you put on like a 15, 20 pound weight vest and go play quarterback, you're going to get hurt because you're not used to it. Or if you take off so much weight that you don't have the cushion, like you just said. So it can go either way. Typically, it's like when you're in your own skin, and he is at this point. Like it's not like he's fresh out of college and he doesn't know what playing weight he wants to play out yet. Like he's in his own skin now, and you change it, it's usually not the greatest move. But we'll see. Lamar did it, and it didn't get him injured. So, but maybe it's premature on that. But Lamar's also so fast, and the thinking there was that he'd take less hits, which for all intents and purposes worked out pretty well. Hold on one second. Let me make this draft selection here. Let's see, what quarterbacks do I have? Let's go with I keep drafting Debo and Ayuk. I don't know why. I just feel like between one of them, something might happen at this late 13, 14, 15 round territory. Husseini, one more thing that you're going to say, and then I'll go over to Luis, who just popped on the phone line. Go ahead, Husseini.
Okay. Yeah, just real quick about Cam Ward. So I don't know too much, but I've been seeing something about some sort of shoulder injury or something. I don't know, but what do you have to say make of that? Like, is he going to be? I know he's going to be good to go week 1, but like, how much do you think this is like serious? I don't know. I keep seeing this pop up about some sort of a shoulder injury for him.
He had a cleanup, right?
Well, he avoided surgery. I think he's just rehabbing it. So he's already resumed throwing, and he's fully expected for June. So I don't think there's any. It's a grade 3 AC sprain, I believe. So
that's right. He avoided surgery.
Yeah, as far as I know, he just rehabbed it. It wasn't like it wasn't something that needed surgery. So And he's already resuming throwing, so mini camp is on schedule, so everything looks good. Is it a concern? I suppose, but nobody should be starting Cam Ward as their number one anyway. There's too many QBs to go around. He's a good QB2 for sure. Super flex, you do.
Yeah, I took him in one round, late as a QB2, and then I took actually C.J. Stroud in another league late, 17th round, the QB2. So, whatever. I mean, there's upside, I guess.
If Tyson had Lemon's mindset, this guy says if Tyson had Lemon's mindset, he'd be incredible. Come on, bro.
I hate that narrative on Tyson that he's not tough.
Bro, stop. Luis, you're live, young man.
Yo. Hey, what's going on, man? Hey, do you mind catching me up in the last 5 minutes? Because I did not realize I was drafting on my own little puppy, and then I was 3 minutes behind. So 5 minutes ago, whenever Husseini called in, what was he talking about? That's mainly the reason that I called in, just because to see what's going on with Husseini out here. Is he talking about my boy May, or am I just jumping the gun right now?
Is he talking about your boy May? Husseini, I'll let you handle that. I mean, he just said one comment, I think, that was comparing Herbert and May.
Sure. Yeah, no, that's what I was asking, because I was 3 minutes behind and I did not realize that. And then I called and then you were saying something and I'm like, what are y'all? I didn't realize I was 3 minutes behind on the show. So I just called in because Husseini called in. What did you say about May, Husseini?
I didn't say anything but man. We were talking about Jordan Love and Herbert, and I said that's a silly comparison.
Well, there was something else. No, you did say something in your super chat. Hold on one second. Let me see, before I time out here. I'm going to time out.
He said he's more of a dog than May.
Yeah, you did say something about him, Husseini. You said he's more of a dog than Drake May, Herbert.
Yeah, but I didn't say it on the phone. We obviously weren't talking about it on the phone,
okay.
But. Yeah, I guess I don't really understand Luis's question, but
what do you mean you don't understand my question? My question was, I was behind 3 minutes. I come in, I don't know what's going on, and I'm just trying to catch up real quick.
Yeah.
What do you mean?
What's your question? What's your question in
Luis?
The phone call?
I guess if I really called because you were on the line, is you're saying that Herbert is better than May, and I'm the Drake defender over here. So, what makes you think that Herbert is better than May? Just
he said that he. Hold on, let me pull up the super chat and I'll read it to you. Luis always comes in with his boxing gloves laced up. Oh man, this guy, man, why are you guys taking all my players? Stowers, you guys keep.
People always think I'm mad. I'm literally just laughing the whole time. I don't know if you can hear it in my voice. Like, I'm smiling when I say these things.
Hold on one second. Oh, damn it, you guys snipe it, bro.
Cheshire cat grin, though. You're coming in, stirring the pot.
He's like, you come in laced up. He's like, with boxing gloves. Okay. What did everybody say?
Who? Being laced up. Well, no, I don't know. That's what I was wondering.
All right, I'll read it verbatim. Luis, he says, Luis, you did title it to Luis. Husseini said, Luis, Herbert has more dog than May. That was what he said. Herbert is tough like Stafford, played through broken hand, injured ribs. I have to say, Luis, he is a dog. Herbert is a dog. I think that it's a losing argument to say he's not a dog. If you want to say May, in your opinion, is going to. Yeah, I think May can be just as big of a dog. I disagree with the non-dog narrative of Drake May the other night when we had it. I was in favor of her. I think May proved he's a dog because he, that one run in the playoffs, like he's just learning how to be a dog. He's not fully dog mode. How could he be? He hasn't had any weapons or receivers. So I do agree that May will become as big of a dog potentially as anybody. I think he's got that in him. I think he's just getting into his own, he's getting his feet under him. But I do think Herbert, it's a losing argument to say he doesn't have any dog. I mean, Herbert's tough, man. He's really tough. He just has had such bad luck if it continues, I could understand like saying that you just can't trust him. Like bad luck follows him, I guess you could say, if this continues. But this is going to be a good year. This is going to be the year it happens.
Last year, you got the crap kicked out of him last year.
He was
like I felt bad for him at times.
The whole offensive line was down. Like nobody was playing well, man. Nobody. So I don't know. Go ahead, Luis. Let's let Luis. Or hold on. Let me merge DJ in, and then let's let Luis rebuttal, and then I'll go back to Husseini. Let me get DJ in here. DJ, hold on 1 second. I'll be right with you. Okay, go ahead, Luis, and rebuttal. Then DJ, then Husseini, then Travis.
So Herbert has been in the NFL for 6 seasons. So my whole thing is why Drake May comes in mid-season last year, and I guess 2 years ago, and then he does pretty good, shows some signs of greatness, gets dealt a team with no weapons and a left tackle that he was great the first 8 games, and he gets hurt, and then he comes back, and then everybody says, oh my God, in the playoffs, somehow, some way, this man actually won in the AFC, right? He actually made it to the Super Bowl, but then he gets crumbled, and that's perfectly fine. So I don't understand where the comparison is. The NFL is a show-me league, and what have you done for me lately? And you're going to say that May, he's more, then Herbert is more of a dog. Why? Because he sustained a little more injuries than May. I mean, we haven't actually seen what May with injuries looks like.
Are we going back to NFL?
A year and a half.
Are we going back to, because remember we're on a fantasy football show, which we can totally have the NFL conversation, but I just have to define it because we don't know what we're speaking about right now. Like dogging him.
We're speaking about is who's more.
Just okay, so just NFL dog, NFL dog, which is okay.
No, I mean even okay. So I guess let's go stats. Last year, who finished second? And he should have finished tied with Matthew Stafford for MVP. It should have been May. I mean, Herbert, he has thrown for 5,000 yards. He did that in the beginning. I just feel like May, he's only been doing this for not even 2 years, so like 2 full years of NFL experience, and he already has shown more signs of greatness. That
Louis. So first of all, give Drake May Brandon Staley for the first few seasons of his career, he'd be subpar, just like Justin Herbert in quote unquote real life or whatever you're saying. And you give Justin Herbert Vrabel and Josh McDaniels, and he will take him to the Super Bowl. It's just not. I don't know. There's no debate. Like
so this.
To say one is better than the other. Like, I don't know what you're trying to argue, but
I'm just saying May is him, bro. That's all I'm saying. So this year, you're right. Coaching matters. So if Malibu might take Herbert to the promised land, that was all coaching then, right? It wasn't based on the talent. So because Drake May did that last season with great coaching.
I don't agree with that.
Because of the system. No, I'm just saying.
Well, you gave Drake May Gerard Mayo, and look what he could do. I mean, Drake May looked not even startable.
It was his rookie season. He did not start.
Jaden Daniels took a bum number 2 overall pick team to the NFC Championship. So I don't really understand your point.
They were not a bad team.
Who did that? I'm sorry.
He had Austin Eckler as his best weapon besides Terry McLaurin, who's like 30 years old.
Austin Eckler in fantasy was literally drafted top 5.
So now we're talking fantasy, but before we were talking, okay.
Look, I'm just saying, life, just in general, he was a great, and that's why I was trying to bring it back.
Not in New England. Not in New England. Come on, it's not. Or back. Like how many years ago?
I don't understand why he's saying. What do you mean?
What are we talking about? We're talking about Eckler. Like when? Eckler when?
Eckler 3. I remember 3 years ago he was still drafted.
That's not even. Shouldn't even be an argument. He had B-Rob. He had McLaurin. He had a better line. You can argue if the Patriots or the Washington team of 24 and 25 were better. They were both pretty good. But I think that's kind of getting off topic. It's more like each guy has been good. Drake May has to prove it more.
Yeah.
I think Herbert's proven he's a dog. He's had a ton of adversity and still produced with bad offensive coordinators and hurt offensive lines. And he has to show he can win playoff games. May has to show that he can keep doing it consistently.
Yeah. I mean, it really does come down to system as well. Like, if they both are going to be set up really nicely this year and they're both going to do well. Like, at the end of the day, I think Drake May's better. But that's a prediction because, I mean, there's still a lot that needs to happen. We saw Stroud explode and then, fold. So May needs to be sticky. It can't be just 1 year. And Herbert, he's got to stay consistent, and he hasn't been. Blame it on offensive injuries, blame it on himself, blame it like there's no story told yet at all. Like, it's just prediction. Like, I don't think there's really a leg to stand on other than I predict this. Like, it can't, there's no fact here. There's no, this is it. It's a very fun argument, but they both have a lot to prove. And I think they both do it. I think they both prove it. If Herbert can't stay healthy, though, then everyone's going to be able to say with pretty good confidence that, like, how long are we going to wait? Like, and that's a very very fair statement. But I think that most of us are looking at this going, it's worth the risk because, boy, getting Mike McDaniel with this talent is finally going to come together. Like, Drake May have not had a lot of weapons, but it was a good situation, amazing schedule. You could go back and forth. Is it schedule? Is it not? Is it McDaniel or is it not? Like, it's hard to really, dilute the actual pieces of this to compare it without unfair angles and stuff. But I do think Herbert's got the dog in him. I think whether he's been successful, that you can argue, but he's a dog. Is he a guy that's been winning? No. But
yeah, I mean, I never said he's a winner.
Right.
I do believe he's a winner, but it's like, just like T-Law, it's kind of hard to win when you've been in terrible situations. But back to my point, like, I'm just saying in terms of pure just that like Tom Brady is a perfect example in my eyes. Mahomes, Josh Allen, like, a lot of these guys, they had it. Like, Tom Brady was down by how many times? He was down by 2, 3, 4 touchdowns, and all he cared about was telling his players, like, laser focus, like, don't, if you give up, you're a coward. You just get in their head. Like, that's a dog. I don't see May. He doesn't have that. He doesn't have it in him.
But
when he's down by 3 touchdowns.
How?
No,
he called his own number.
Yeah.
He called his own number to win the AFC Championship.
Yeah, Oh, real quick, Luis, then over to DJ. Can I rebuttal real quickly? Okay, go ahead.
Yeah, I'm sorry. I guess when I defy dog, I mean, some people would say somebody that's physical, somebody that likes, that even when they're hurt, they're playing. For me, a dog is something that, for instance, I'm big on the Lamar is not a dog.
I agree.
When adversity hits the most, what do you do in those moments? And, Drake may have had the best situation, but I'm sorry. Like, I was telling Hammer the other day, he still delivered against the Chargers. He still delivered against the Texans. He still delivered against the Ravens. And he still delivered against the Broncos. And it's just something that, and I completely understand your point. You can say, oh, well, he crumbled in the Super Bowl. But at the same time, he had 4 proven big stage moments. And just because he crumbled in the biggest stage doesn't mean that the team is not going to rebuild. I understand that the Braves situation is awful, and it might set them back, but that doesn't defy Drake May. Drake May did not play his best, but when he needed to play his best, that's when he played his best, or at least did the plays that he needed to do in order to win the game.
Let me just say this. I judging Drake May so far is way too premature. Like, not to mention the amount of time we've seen of him. He's carrying the team almost the entire season without big weapons. And you could say Diggs is a weapon all you want, but Diggs definitely didn't feel it. DJ just hung up. DJ, call back if you want to get in. But this is also, like, in the playoffs, what he did and like Travis said, calling his own number, doing what he did on his own, just that was him coming into his own as a dog right there. And you could say, I need to see it more or something. I get it if you need to see more of it to really like lock it in. Just like I said, you got to see Herbert play consistent before it becomes sticky. I get that you're like, this is there, but it's not sticky yet. But I mean, Hosseini, I got to step in and just say it does sound a little biased to say that May isn't a dog. Like, May's a dog, man.
Well,
you may like Mahomes is a proven, he is the dog. Like, Mahomes is the dog. And I know you're used to that, but May's like still a pup, bro. And he did what a pup can do the best way a pup can do it. Like, there's not much more he could have done to prove he's a dog without weapons, carrying the team on his back, marching through a playoff he had no business being in. And the other thing too, and again, I love you, Hussein. I'm not mad at your take. Drake May failing in the Super. Like, I will never ever understand when people say someone crumbled in the Super Bowl. They got to the Super Bowl. Someone's gonna lose. You can have a bad game. Your team can have a bad game. You're also facing the Seahawks defense, but like, you can't crumble in one game when you do what you do all year. Not to mention being, one of the best downfield throwers, if not the best downfield thrower all year long without weapons. But just that one playoff game alone was when the dog was born in him, if you want to say that. And I just think that, like, it does seem very biased. I think somebody in chat said, Hussein, you're just hating on May. It seems very biased against Drake May to suggest he doesn't have the dog in him at all. Like, that's crazy. But I love you, pal.
Yeah, I know. I'll just say one last thing, and then I'll let hopefully DJ calls in and let him talk. But
he's there.
The only thing I'll say is two things. One, like with May, I'm not saying he's not he doesn't have the upside or the potential to be an elite quarterback, or he doesn't have the tangibles. I just, in my eyes, haven't seen it. Like, because another reason is, the playoffs. Like, let's be honest, they didn't beat the Texans. C.J. Stroud handed it to him, and just gifted him 4 interceptions.
He threw 3 touchdowns.
The Patriots.
You're acting like Mahomes never won games because of his defense.
And so, anyway, and then you go on to play Denver, which is Jarrett Stidham.
Saying, I mean,
who's Jarrett Stidham?
It's a short track it's a short resume, and he still won the games he had to win. Like, I just don't understand why those games. Cool, you could have put Malik Willis and they would have won. That's cool. The Patriots, bro, I get it, but at the same time, it doesn't define.
You just proved my point.
I don't know. I don't think any points have been proven. I honestly think it's almost, no, I'm saying, like, I don't think he proved it. It's almost too premature to be saying things like someone doesn't.
Who made the plays when it matters?
When he went to the Super Bowl.
Herbert did not. May did. May has been to a Super Bowl. Allen has not. Lamar has not. Burrow did once. And just because you're a Chiefs fan does not give you the right to come out here and say this quarterback this quarterback is not.
He gives him the right.
That's fine.
Bruce, I'll tell you what.
It's my like right you're going to say Drake May. You're going to say Drake May is not him.
He can think whatever he wants.
It's his opinion. For sure. And he's entitled to his opinion.
All right, let's go to DJ. Let's go to DJ. Let's go to DJ and then close this argument, because I honestly think it's just we're just spinning our wheels and there's nothing here. Everybody's trying to define everything when there's nothing to define yet. DJ, go ahead. You're live.
Best show on the planet, Smitty.
Yeah. Thank you.
Sub squad.
Yo.
Yeah. So with Herbert, I'm a Chargers fan, so I'm gonna be a little balanced bias, but I'm a football fan first. And I think someone hit on it. I can't even tell you who the coaches were there. I can't tell you. I don't know. Lynn. Who else? My point is, yeah, it's 6 years.
Moore.
Kellen Moore. That's a wonder. But yeah, it's pretty nice. But my point is saying that is that environment has a lot to do with, I think, dog or not. I mean, Louis, you were on to something when you were speaking about the QBs that came out with Darnold, who who won the Super Bowl. Lamar came out with him. Allen came out with him. So environment has a lot to do with that. I mean, Herbert, I don't know, man. Love the guy, but his environment's been pretty awesome, pretty awful. But 6 playoff appearances. But if you're not first, you're last. So, in terms of dog, we can dog all we want. Let's win some chips. If you're not first, you're last. And with May having done what he's done, he's my number 2 QB in Dynasty, by the way. I just see that he's built for that, carrying that. But then by the same token, I kind of see that in Herbert. In his environment, he didn't make it to the Super Bowl. That collapse against Jacksonville, I don't know what the hell happened there, pardon my French. But with Malibu Mike being there, I think that's going to help his environment. And maybe at last you'll have someone there to help him out. Say, hey, man, you don't have to make every play. Because if you want Herbert, man, he tries to make every play. Almost like an Allen type of thing. And I'm not saying he's Allen. So hopefully this year that's going to help. I don't know when Tua came out. Was Miami Mike there? Because I was so happy that Miami took Tua because Tua and Herbert came out. And
Mike called Tua on the phone when he was gonna go over and head coach, and he said, "You're my guy." Before he even met him, he's already in the lineup. He's struggling, and he's like, "You're my guy."
So that was Mike Daniels' call, I guess, huh? That was Malibu Mike. Well, at the time, Miami Mike's call.
Well, that's who his quarterback was. He went over, and he was already his quarterback.
Yeah,
he's already
Brian Flores was there when he was drafted as the coach.
Gotcha. So Herbert can get there, but again, it's all for naught because hell, we just had Sam Darnold win the championship last year.
Well, yeah,
he was drafted 4th pick overall.
Yeah, this is to me. This is boring. A lot of people in the chat are like, "Move on." I think it's time to move on.
So the
topic
from
is
that standpoint, and even with the fantasy, even from a fantasy perspective and what have you, I'm just amazed at May's year last year that he finished number 2. I don't know how that math worked with throwing for less than 300. One time?
300 one time.
One time,
yeah. I mean, he runs a lot too. Like it's a cheat code. But running it's hard not to call a running quarterback not a dog because they're out there running with grit and determination. It's just like I don't know. I even don't like when people say Lamar doesn't have that dog in him. He's selective, is what it is. He turns it on and off. Like he's not full. He's not clutch is the right. I believe he's got that dog in him. He proved it in seasons, but yes, he ends up crapping the bed. It's clutch, lacking of clutch ability. That's the perfect way to describe it. But he has that dog in him. Running quarterbacks are dogs, man. They just are.
You have to be tough.
It's like you're tough. You're a tough quarterback. It's quarterbacks that don't scramble at all. Not saying they can't be dogs, but a lot of it comes down to success too. And some of these guys haven't had a chance because their situations suck. And some of it is that they fail, and some of it's a combination of it. But I think it's way too early to be having a conversation about whether Drake May is or is not a dog, especially when he did what he did last year. I don't know how that doesn't prove he's got the makings of a dog. So anyway,
absolutely right. And just real quick, in terms of Sam Darnold from seeing ghosts to at least taking the team to the chip. Not too dissimilar than what we saw with May. May is definitely better, but Pat's defense was something else as well. But May got him there, man. Breece Hall in your draft.
Yeah. What about it?
Breece Hall. So I was looking at Breece Hall. I've drafted him in the Dynasty League, and I've always liked Breece Hall. For some of the reasons that Hammer has mentioned. I mean, PPR, he's good. He's very talented. So I was trying to look at some of his finishes over the past 3 years. And I think it was 23. He finished 3 or 4. Somebody might have to check that.
2. He finished 2.
And the funny thing is, he finished 2.
Yeah.
Okay. The funny thing is, when I was looking, I was like, oh my God, he didn't even finish top 10. Not realizing, because I immediately just scrolled down, not realizing that in 23, he finished 2.
Yeah. No,
Best on the planet.
he was awesome. All right, thanks, DJ. No, he was clear. Yeah, he was clearly the running back 2 that year. Is a phenomenal year. We were so excited because this channel called him a top 1 to 5 running back, and then he tore his ACL. So we had to kind of sit it out and wait it out, and then he's running back 2. Everybody said he's not going to be good. He's not going to be good. Bro, if Tyson slithered like a snake in his interviews, like lemon, he's saying it would be game over. He was laughing at that other comment that was saying that Tyson had the mentality of that other comment. If Tyson could be more like lemon, like, I don't know what that means. May 4,300 yards, 31. Okay, yeah. Second season, by the way, Herbert 37, 27, 26 TDs, 13 INTs. Not worried about last year. Not worried about last year.
Just to add to that, it was one thing I wanted to say was, in Herbert's defense, he's going into his 7th year, and he's going on to his 5th offensive coordinator at this point. So there's been no stability there on top of everything in terms of the system.
Yeah. Back on track for Herbert, because that's what this topic is about. And the extension of Herbert with Miami Mike to these other players. I want to ask real quickly around the phone line what everybody's expectation is for the extension of Herbert, which would start with Ladd McConkey. Let me go over to Luis. Luis, what is your stat line for Ladd McConkey? Spit it out, young man. Then over to Husseini.
I think he is going to have 80 receptions for 900 yards. Quentin Johnston is a sleeper in my eyes, and Gadsden will have a really good season. That's just me, and I believe they're going to run the ball. They're going to run the heck out of the ball.
Yep,
I just think that McDaniel is going to take it. He's going to take it away from. I mean, Herbert has. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
How many TDs for Laddie?
8.
8,908. Okay.
8.
That's Husseini, or that's Luis's. Let me go see Husseini. What is the stat line for Ladd? I'm going to go around each of these players for everybody, so just hang tight.
I'm going to keep the same stat line I had on the Super Chat. The only thing I'll change is the receptions. I'll actually up it up to like 90, let's say 92 receptions, 1,100 yards, 10 touchdowns. That's what I think. I think he has like a top. I said top 10, but top 12 is also like top 10, top 12.
Travis?
Feeling.
Ladd, 101, 1,250, and 8.
I like that one. I'm a little more in line with that one.
Yeah.
I like that one. I think that's going to be okay. Let's see. I'm going to agree with that. Gadsden. And just to give you a feel of what the top tight ends, like, let's go look at last year's scoring. I'll go into the Wild Wild West. I'll hit player leaders. I'll go with 2025 stats. We'll go to the tight end position. We got McBride, who had a 12, 39, 11, and 126. Great year. Kyle Pitts had the second best season with 88, 928, and what was it? Only 5 touchdowns? That was tight end 2? Wow. Kelsey was tight end 3? I thought he was 5.
Yeah.
That's crazy. Kelsey was 76, 8. What a low scoring tight end season, really. 5.
It was.
I think we have a lot better performance because Bowers and Fannin Fannin got a late start
if you
too.
go back to 2024, it was way higher.
Yeah, Fannin got a late start. Ferguson was number 5. He only had 80. He had 82 receptions, but 82, 608. Wow, he had more touchdowns than I thought. Okay, so knowing all that, and I think we'll have a bigger year than that. But go ahead and give me Gadsden projections. I'll start with Travis this time, and I'll go over to Husseini, then to Luis.
70 catches, 900 yards. We'll go 9 touchdowns.
All right. Husseini?
For Gaston, well, yeah, Miami Malibu Mike. So I'll go like 64 catches or receptions. I like 900. Yeah, 900 yards, and like definitely double digit touchdowns. Like anywhere from like 10 to 11 touchdowns.
Wow.
Maybe more because he is tight end. I think they're going to use him on that red zone a lot. If it's not Hampton, it's definitely Hampton. But if it's not Hampton, then it can go. I think Gadsden second. He's just so big bodied, big hands. I think Malibu Mike knows what to do with that guy.
Yeah, I want to go. Let's go six. I'm going to go 60. I'm going to go 68 as well. I think that's what you just said, right? 68. 68. 955 and 9. No, 8. Let's go 71, 990, and 8. That's what I'm going to do there. Okay, Luis?
77 receptions, 1,020 yards, and 9 touchdowns.
Woo! 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 All right, Hampton. I'll start this one out. Hampton. Jeez.
All purpose?
I'm gonna break it up. This is tough because, man, I feel like there is risk here with this guy. There certainly is.
I think we gotta admit, assume health for all these guys, right? When we're doing this.
Okay. So we'll assume health, but I will say that there is a risk here that you just need to cuff them and you'll be okay. Because I think Keaton Mitchell and Vidal, you almost need to have all three. If you can't have all three, you kind of have no business drafting Hampton, is my thinking. So Hampton, if healthy all year long, I kind of feel like this is going to be, man, I really believe like a Chase Brown line where it's 10-19 is what Chase Brown had. And I think he can over deliver that. Let's say 1,120 yards rushing. 400. Well, let's put it at 399 receiving. Receptions. Chase Brown had 69. I think I could go with 65. And then total touchdowns, I'm going to go 11. So that's if he stays healthy. That's a huge year. That is running back number.
It's funny. I'm higher.
Yeah,
I feel like I doubt him. I feel like I doubt him more than a lot of people too.
Well, that's also assuming that it's not all going to go to him. And I think that the thing about Miami Mike is that he has been different every year. Everyone thinks that he's just replicating the year prior. But if you remember, so Deebo Samuel, wide receiver, that's getting all this production. Then he goes over to Miami and it's Mostert. And then after Mostert rushes for 20 something. Yeah, you know what? So let me change the touchdowns. I'm going to say 14. So that's a little bit higher of a number. And even if we put this at like 410, let's just say 410. So that's probably more of what I guess I'm feeling now that I'm even describing Mostert and how he can get those rushing touchdowns. But Mostert was 20 touchdowns on the ground, and then it goes over to Achane and Tyreek Hill. And so he's able to do a lot of different things. And I think everyone's natural inclination is to say that he's going to get Achane. But you got to understand that he has Gadsden, he has Ladd, and he has Hampton. So we might see a little bit lesser going to the one player, a singular player that we're thinking is going to be Achane. So, like, even if I put this at like 13 scores, I feel like it's going to be so well balanced between the three big studs in Ladd, Gadsden, and Hampton. And he's got other assets too that we're going to be shocked at how well they all do, is kind of what I'm thinking.
Those numbers, if it was 14, I believe would be, or even 13 actually, either way, it would be RB6.
Okay. I think that's about right for me because I'm not drafting him higher, expecting higher.
I'm actually not higher than you. I think we're like 2 points different because I said 280 carries, 1,300 yards, 12 rushing touchdowns, 50 catches, 400 yards, 3 receiving. So 1,700 with 15 touchdowns.
All right. So okay. That's Travis's. I won't write that.
Ballpark.
You just read it. Okay. Let me go to Luis and then to Husseini.
I'm actually going to go a little crazy on Hampton. I don't draft him much, but I know the talent. I think he's going to rush for 1420. Only 200 yards for receptions. And then I believe he's going to score. It's going to be crazy. It's going to be like 12 touchdowns. I think a lot of the passing is going to go to Vidal. I mean, Keem Mitchell is great, but I think Vidal kind of proved that, so I don't know.
All right. I mean, anything can happen. I mean, that's kind of the point of McDaniel. He's not an open book. We don't really, he just rotates differently each set of weapons he gets. Husseini, go ahead.
1,300 rushing. For touchdowns, give me 14, and receiving yards, 450.
Receptions?
Yeah, receiving. You said receiving yards?
How many receptions?
Oh, sorry. Receptions give me like, 55, 60.
All right. I guess Luis wants to throw a little QJ projection out there. I don't think QJ. I think QJ will be okay. But
I really do believe, and this is just my little hot take. I think QJ is going to have more yards this year than Ladd.
Okay.
That's just me.
How many? What's his total stat line?
Just yards.
What's his stat line?
Mr. T-Rex himself will catch 84 receptions for 1,115 yards, and he's only going to have like 5 touchdowns. I'm not saying he's going to finish higher than Ladd when it comes to fantasy football, but I do believe he's going to have more yards than that.
All right. Yeah, QJ. Are these drops? 84 drops?
No, last year, the first 6 games, it is what it is. I like QJ, man. I mean, I don't draft him. You see the talent. He played at TCU. I live in North Texas, and the talent is there. He just needs to gain some confidence. It's the same thing as MXJ, man. It's just the guy just needs to have confidence in himself. The talent is there, and that's how I see it. So I guess we'll see next year. I mean, this year, I guess by December.
He is a body
QJ was a wide receiver 5.
He's a body catcher,
and that was insane to me.
He's a body catcher.
I mean, sure. Hey, man, that's a big body, man. That's a big body, though. I mean, Ladd. And I love Ladd. I was the biggest Ladd guy, man. I was so big into Ladd, but then I don't know. I saw QJ play. As long as he gains some confidence in himself, he'll be all right.
Herbert, we're big Herbert people here from the origin of Herbert. Like, he's definitely played badly. We haven't been on board the last year or two just because he can't get it together. He can't stay out like this. But we created this in the very beginning before I think most of you were even here. Travis, were you here during Herbert is the GOAT? He'll punch you in the throat? Travis might not.
No, right before I came, yeah.
Yeah, so there's a song you guys can hear right here.
Herbert is the GOAT. He'll punch you in
Herbert is the GOAT. He'll punch you in the throat.
Herbert is the GOAT. He'll punch you in the throat.
We were super high on him as a rookie, and then when he came in right away from Jump Street and was tearing it up, as a rookie, like playing amazing. Like he had one of the better rookie seasons, of a quarterback. And so that's kind of why I think he is very proven. And we've seen him do it. We've seen him do it in a tough spot. He just had the Trevor Lawrence bad luck streak of just injuries, bad systems. And so it'll come together. I really believe it'll come together here for him. So the whole point of this live stream was to talk about Herbert. My opinion is he's going to the moon. The science proves it. It's all over the graphic. And all the touching components of this thing, and you just heard from everybody on the phone line too. Everyone's going to eat, and that means Herbert's going to blow up, So anybody that doubts Herbert, you can't doubt Herbert if you got all those big projections going on. So if anybody agrees with those,
predicting his stat line.
Oh yeah, so let's do. That's probably a good point. Herbert is to go. All right, so I'll start off. Herbs. Wow. So we're talking about probably a man. If we go back to Herbert's biggest seasons, he's had 5,000 yards passing. I'm not saying he does that here, but I'm just saying we know he's capable of slinging the mother freaking rock. And by the way, last year is a pretty rough year for him, and he finished number 10. So he did very well. And if you look back on his game log, a lot of people don't remember, he was QB5 in week 1. He had a rough stretch, a rough patch. It was 18, 12, 20, 21, and 15. That's awful. But then he was QB2, QB3, QB4 in back-to-back games against the Colts, the Vikings, and the Tennessee Titans, if that matters of who he played, if that helps you realize whether he did it against tough defense or whatever. He also played very badly during that stint against very easy matchups, so it almost didn't matter. And I'm a big advocate of if it's not the shutdown, lockdown defense, there's usually a couple of those in the league. Sometimes players can step up and elevate according to the the competition. But if we look at, like, let's say last year, we look at like a Trevor Lawrence season. Trevor Lawrence had 4,007 yards. He had 29 touchdowns. He had 9 rushing. And wow, he had 9 rushing touchdowns. You almost forget that. What a season for Trevor Lawrence. 359. And I don't know if you remember when we predicted him to have a much nicer rushing season because Liam Cohen turned Baker into a rusher. Baker didn't rush it, very well at all until Liam Cohen kind of crafted that. Herbert had almost the least amount of runs in, I think, the entire NFL the year prior to Liam Cohen. Liam Cohen comes over and makes him a freaking 359-yard rushing quarterback with 9 rushing TDs. So that's quite a season. Now Herbert, if we look at Herbert's rushing history, he is typically going to get you 498 in 2020. Wow, that's a lot of yards. 306, 228, 302, 220. So I think like 340, 350.
Last year he was running for his life.
Yeah, I think you want him around 310. I think is probably his rushing touchdowns. 2, 2, 3, 3, 5. Pretty locked in at 3 scores, I would say. That sounds about right. So 3 TDs rushing, 300. That's really good at extra little added bonus there. Passing yards, he's a 4,000-yard passer no matter what. If he's on, he's healthy. Things. So this is not a problem here. I would probably say this is going to be more like 4,300 to 4,400 yards. You could even say 4,500. I think that's where he's going to fall. His touchdowns, 26, 23, 20, 25, 38, 31. Things go good, he's above 30. I'm going to say 34 touchdowns, 43 to 4,500 yards, 300 rushing with 3 additional. That puts him at 37 total touchdowns. That's a pretty big year. That probably gets him, if I had to look, that probably puts him, if I'm guessing right here, I would say that puts him at QB 3 or 4, maybe 4 or 5. Because I think we'll have different scoring, we'll have players that don't get hurt and stuff like that. So the numbers from last year are hard to say. I'd say it puts him at 5, actually 5 or 6. Because I think there's going to be a big scoring quarterback group this year. So I'd say this puts him at 5 or 6. Travis, go ahead, and then Luis, then Husseini to close it out, and then we'll be out of here.
So I think he's going to have a career year next year with Melvin Mike, or close to it. They have 4,700 passing yards. I'll say 300 rushing yards with 3 rushing touchdowns.
Okay.
And then passing touchdowns to interception, I'll do 39 to 12.
Wow.
Wow. Me and Travis are very almost spot on with our stats there.
42 touchdowns. Okay, hit me with it, Husseini, while you're at it.
I mean, I'm pretty much right there with him.
Go ahead.
Oh, sorry. I thought you were doing something. Yeah, I have him at 4,900 yards passing, 280 rushing. I have him at touchdown interception ratio, actually 41 touchdowns, 11 interceptions. I think he's gonna have, like Travis said, I agree. I think he's gonna have a career year with Mike McDaniel.
All right.
And Keaton Mitchell is very underrated, by the way. People.
Oh yeah, he's a stud. He's a must.
He's gonna ball.
And keep in mind who is his HN this year. It could be Keaton Mitchell to a degree. Whether he uses HN and Mostert with Hampton and Mitchell, though, where Mostert was getting more of the work, right? So that could be Hampton, and then HN could be his Keaton Mitchell this year. I'm telling you, he rotates things in a weird. Everyone thinks they can predict what he's going to do. They just take last year and try and extrapolate it over. But he's very strange in that he assesses his talent, he uses it very well. And Keaton Mitchell, like HN, I mean, they're very, very similar. Not saying that they're going to have similar careers. HN was so amazing, but the one coach that's going to believe in the frame and the size of Keaton Mitchell and to utilize it, if let's say Hampton goes down, and not be afraid to run Keaton out there as a starter, it is Miami Mike who did it with HN, the only coach that did that we believed in to do it. So Keaton Mitchell is 100% one of the biggest, I hate to say it, but biggest midseason monster potential players if Hampton can't stay healthy. And not to mention just a standalone amazing grab in best ball and a 100% must cuff. If you don't grab Keaton Mitchell and you grab Hampton, you might as well cry yourself to sleep at night. And Vidal's important too to grab just in case it goes differently. And if you can't house all 3 running backs, you have no business drafting Hampton in that particular league. If you could only house 5 running backs total, then cry me a river. Go draft another running back. Draft a safer running back that's not in this potent environment that's going to guarantee you production. In best ball, having Keaton Mitchell, Hampton, and Vidal is so key and important and amazing. It locks, like, think of it this way. When people say, oh, you can't have 3, I'd rather take random shots on other players. I wouldn't, because you know what Hampton, Mitchell, and Vidal get you, all 3 of them? A guaranteed, except for the bye week, running back 1. And then all you have to worry about is your running back 2. And even in the weeks where you don't get it right, let's say you pick 2 or 3 guys and both go down or something, or that bye weeks or whatever, then guess what? Hampton and Keaton Mitchell probably score enough for you that both of them start for you in best ball that week. Like, that's the you got to understand how important it is to have the trio, and how the trio can carry you in weeks where your whole running back stable is a mess, and you've got 2 or 3 guys from this Chargers offense that can jump into your lineup using optimal scoring. All right, let me go over to Luis. Luis, you want to give us a Herbert line?
Herbert line. I'm just gonna talk mess, man.
You what?
But it comes to fantasy. When it comes to fantasy, I believe he's gonna finish with 3,900 yards, rushing 475.
How many?
I'll give him that. 475.
Oh, 475. Okay. I thought you said 4 and then 75. Okay, 475.
No.
And then how many rushing touchdowns? How many passing touchdowns?
Rushing touchdowns, actually, I'm pretty low on that. I think he's only going to have
4 because of the running game
Okay.
and what else? I'm sorry.
Still good. It's not low. You give him 475 and 4.
Touchdowns.
You give him 475 and 4. That's
I'm
not
sorry.
low. That's good. Travis said you still
475.
have passing touchdowns and then you're done.
Oh, passing touchdowns. Oh, sorry. Like Quentin, I give him 33.
I love how Luis goes. Quentin, no, carry the one. He says Quentin. First words out of his mouth are Quentin. Is it Quentin? Carry the one.
Guess what I just found? I found my new guy. It was first Love, then Young.
Yeah.
And now we're over here on Quentin.
I
Quentin.
gotta say, let's see. I gotta say, yeah. I don't know. I think this is weird because it's like you're giving him such a low passing situation, but then like you say his rushing is low, but that's pretty good. 475 is 4. It's not bad. I don't hate that. But yeah, I mean, hey, that 37 total touchdowns, roughly 43, almost 4,400 yards. I mean, that's fine too. That's not bad. They're gonna run the ball a lot. You said so. That would jive with your prediction there.
Well, I was just like, yeah, I'm just looking at those 3 players. I don't think all 3 of them are gonna finish like that. I feel like honestly, if I had to look at it from a unbiased perspective, I think that Ladd might regress a little bit, and then I feel like Gadsden is gonna do what he has to do. It's more like 800, but I do believe Quentin is gonna finish. He's gonna finish high. I do like him a lot this year.
He's
all yours. Take another lap.
He's all yours, pal. All right, boys, we're out of here.
I'm not drafting him.
I actually do think Quentin Johnson will have decent numbers. I think it's going to be because they're going to be such a prolific offense. So, I mean, last year he ended up with 708.
Yeah.
But, I mean, I think he can do that again.
But how you not drafting him?
700 or 800 yards.
Or Luis?
Yeah, I know.
You love him, but you're not drafting him. You kept saying, you just went on and on about Quentin Johnson, and you said how much you love him, and then like, I'm not drafting him.
I just don't really draft.
Makes no sense.
I just don't really draft Charger players.
Why? You got to throw that out, bro. That's biased. It's gonna take you.
I just don't really believe in Herbert like that, man.
But if you think Quentin Johnson's gonna ball, you just take him.
Well, Quentin Johnson was doing amazing last year, but then everything went down. So I mean, it's just anything can happen. I feel like he's still gonna produce, and the talent is there. He showed it for the first.
But you won't draft him.
7 weeks last year. I feel like
he
he's gonna
did
be
it
there.
with quarterback Luis Herbert.
I mean, I'm sorry, sir.
I said and he did that with who passing the ball to him, Justin Herbert.
I'm still just stuck on the fact that like you made me feel like QJ was gonna be a top 15 wide receiver in your mind, and then you won't draft him.
I like that.
That's what I said about. No, I just said QJ is gonna finish as the number 1 in Charger land. I didn't say that QJ is gonna go for 1,500. I mean 1,000 yards it's good. It's not like wow.
All right.
It's not fascinating. It's not amazing.
All right,
Chuck. I don't know.
All right, Chuck Nasty says 12 man.
I just think.
You just think what?
Hold up. Let me put my other AirPod on, bro.
All right, 12-man 2-keeper league. Already have JSN in the 4th. Do I take Pickens in round 8 or Rashee Rice in round 6? I would take. Man, that's tough. I don't think that either one's gonna, hurt you if you go the other. Like round 6 and 8, when you have keepers already off the board, it really feels late anyway. So it's not like round 6 is gonna feel like round 6 anyway. It's gonna feel like 7 or 8. But I'd probably say give me Rice, because I think Rice is in a better position to have a bigger year. Not that Pickens won't have a big year. I love Pickens too. But when you think about it, we're drafting Rice over Pickens every time, are we not? I mean, at least I am. And so for me, my answer will be parallel to that. Because it's like 6 and 8 round. It'd be different if it was like 2 and like 8 or 13 and 4. Like the round 6 and 8 are close enough. that, again, round 6 with all the keepers in mind off the board is going to feel like round 7 or 8 feels. So it's not that big of a deal. But I guess the question I would ask you, and if the answer is, a Burrow or Mahomes or Hurts, or if you can get that kind of player in 6 in your mind based on the keepers, then, I don't know if maybe not everybody's keeping a guy. I don't know the details. So if your 6th round pick could be somebody that significant, or even like a BTJ or a Tootin or something like that, or your league doesn't understand Rice or Price, and Jadarian Price is there, then I'm going to say Pickens and Price. I'm going to say Pickens, but it just depends on what the 6th round looks like, Chuck. So that's my answer there. It's going to be dependent on what you believe is going to be available. All right, going around the phone line real quickly. I'm probably going to go live on Dynasty. The topic I think will probably be, Herbert against the field in Dynasty. I think is no, we're going to do Shuck. Shuck against the field in Dynasty. We'll go live. And you guys can participate. It doesn't, even if it's a 10-minute show, it doesn't matter. If anybody wants to extend it because they love it, they can extend it. If they don't, they don't. No big deal. I guess. Oh no, it was Olave. Or no, it was Olave, right?
Well,
Olave.
Hammer had said Olave, but he's not here, so I don't know.
Well, he might
wait
be.
till he's here to do it.
He does that. You think he's not here, and then he shows up in the Dynasty channel. So, but I don't mind doing Olave anyway. That's a good one because it'll bring Shuck into the conversation.
Yeah, that's fine.
I think I almost don't want to do a show just on Shuck, but Shuck will be involved in this one, so I think it'll be good to talk about it. All right, boys. Anything else? Luis, Husseini, Travis.
Nope. Thank you, Smitty.
Dynasty. Bye.
I'm just saying, Quinn Johnston finished with 700 plus yards last year. He can easily hit 1,000. That's all I gotta say.
All right. I don't disagree. 1,000 is only 58 yards a game. I think he can do that.
Yeah, I mean, he was averaging 75 through his first 8. So I was like, he's got it in him. He's got a bigger body. He just needs to learn how to catch balls. I mean,
body catcher.
I know. But I mean, they told him he's in a system where they drafted him. Yeah. Hey man. I guess we'll revisit this. We're gonna revisit this.
Hey, body catchers can do. They're people too.
Hey, somebody has to have the weird takes, and I'm eventually gonna be right. So
all right,
it is what it is.
All right, call in if you want on the Dynasty channel. Be live in 6-7 minutes. All right, later. Thank you, Luis, for the super chat. Later, bro.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
All right, be back in 4 to 6 minutes on the Dynasty channel. Chris Olave. Here's the link to the Dynasty channel. First of all, here's the link to the Underdog promo code Smitty if you guys want to draft next time. There's that link. And then here's the link to the Dynasty channel. We'll be going live on Dynasty. And we'll be live on Rumble as well at the same time. So my Rumblers appreciate you. Luis, thanks for dropping the Rumble chat. Luis with a $20. Luis with a $10. Over on the YouTube side of the fence, we had Chuck with the $4.99. We had Romario with the $4.99. Young, appreciate your super chat. Overcome, appreciate your super chat. E-Rock, Husseini with the $20 hauler. Husseini with the 10, and Mile High Mania with the $2 hauler. See you all on the Dynasty channel in T-minus 4 to 7 minutes.